Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's go ahead and get this started. Who all do we have in the channel today? Okay, so we'll go ahead and start rolling here. And had a few technical difficulties getting started, but it looks like we are or have worked through those. Let me know if everything's working for you. Hopefully my audio sounds better today. Let's get this party started. So if you didn't know, there was a glitch, big surprise, during the launch day. It seems to be fixed now. Basically, that glitch was once you enabled a forbidden tech, your game would keep rebooting or give you a warning message saying you've lost internet connection, and it would restart. It would do that, at least for me, every 20 to 30 seconds. It seems like they have pushed out a fix for that because I haven't had any problems today with that. And they also sent out a compensation chest, which was decent. If you haven't seen that already, you want to check that out. Go ahead and knock out a few things here while we're waiting for some people to join. And like I said, if you're in the chat, let me know if you can hear me. And for those of you who joined the chat today, I have a special surprise. Thanks, Dark Soji. Welcome. Hopefully it sounds better than yesterday. I played with my audio settings last night. Didn't get as much setup on my stream as I wanted to. Time and the learning curve just wouldn't allow. But I was able to work on the audio bit. So one thing I'm going to cover today is the ARC calendar, and I'm going to share with everyone a tool that I built, and I'm going to share that out on my Discord, I believe. I believe I can share it there at the end of the stream. It is a work in progress. But it will allow you to see what the current events are, and then with the flip of a switch, you can see what the events are going to be for reset. So we'll go over that in just a moment. And while I'm knocking out a few things, how is the ARC going for everyone so far? Good, bad, ugly? Okay. So I'll do a quick review. Couple things I've noticed. As I mentioned before, here in the Q trials, hit your start. This will change to locate. You can go out, hit that trial ship. It'll be marked in the same red color. And as you destroy those targets, you'll get your points for your milestones. Once you've collected all your milestones, you can still start if you have enough trial bells. And you'll just get the Forbidden Tech Protomatter at 80 per completion. So may or may not be worth it to do trials after you've completed all the milestones. Each of these three are all just 80 once you've completed the milestones. And as before, after you've completed the first three, the next ones open up at level 7, and there's 3 of those, and that's level 7 of your Q Court building, which you can find inside your base if you've built it already over here. Yeah, I'm reading your comment there, Dark Soji. So did you purchase a pack and upgrade your building that way? Yeah, that's the only thing I see as a little bit frustrating. Um, the only thing I would add to that is that with everything else we have to do on a daily basis, having it spaced out maybe is not a bad idea. With the exception of those of us who like to just blast through a particular event. Yeah, I agree. I held off on purchase anything just yet because I wanted to see what was going on with the bugs. Um, I noticed another thing that I think is a bug. I haven't looked lately to see if anyone's talking about it. But when you go into your claim section and go to building resources, this trial bell claim chest, this morning I claimed it and I only had a 5-hour timer. I then used up the trial bells, and when I came back, it was available again. I clicked on it then, and it reset a cooldown timer to 22 hours. So I'm not sure what's going on with that just yet. I don't think that should be normal to have two different timers. I thought I had seen that bug yesterday because when I first claimed that chest and I went back sometime later, I had like 13 hours cooldown left, and I went back sometime later and I still had 13 hours. So wasn't sure if it's just my memory, which can be a little off on occasion due to my TBI. But I didn't think I was off, and this morning I screenshotted it and posted it in my Discord bug channel, so that I knew I wasn't going crazy. Which event is not giving you credit? Is it one of the forbidden technology events? The only ones that I see that I don't have points are the mining ones, which I don't have a forbidden tech mining applied yet. Oh, upgrading the forbidden tech SMS. And you notice that spells cure if you read it down. Yeah, mine seems to be scoring, but I haven't kept a close eye on it. There's just so much going on with all of these arcs lately within the arc that it's near impossible to keep track of every little detail. That makes sense, Captain Tanya. I've seen that before. I don't know if that's a bug with their servers or if that's just intentional, but I'm pretty sure it's a latency issue. Oh, that's interesting, Captain Tanya. I did not know that. In that case, let me try something real quick. We will verify that on my end to see if that does the same for me. And it does. How interesting. Another bug. That might be true. I've had not had a chance to really do a lot of investigating on some of the other content creators and on Scopely's Discord itself because I've been busy. But I do know that there are quite a few different problems. The biggest one, because it affected me, I was aware of, was that crashing, rebooting, can't connect to the internet issue, however you want to label it. So thanks for that, Tanya. That definitely worked. So I'll take it. So let's make sure I don't have anything going on. I'm going to pull up my calendar tool. There are a couple bugs that I've been working on this morning to fix. Haven't got them fixed yet, so hopefully it will at least work well enough to show you. And not crash completely. But before we go there, yeah, I am a broke puppy. There is no doubt about that. So, in case you didn't know, which I'm sure you all do, you go in here to this and you click on the one that's appropriate, and you can go through here, but you can't copy and paste these easily. It's a pain in the tuchus, and it really is not the best way to kind of see what's coming and kind of plan ahead. In my opinion, Scopely's never been really good about allowing you to plan ahead and strategize, even though they call it a strategy game. Thanks, Dark Soji, for that additional info. So I'm going to transition my screen over to my tool. So this is a spreadsheet tool that I created. Minimize that. Give us some more real estate here. And I'm going to just kind of explain the tool a little bit. And like I said, I'm going to upload this. I think I can upload it on my Discord. If not, I will put it somewhere and give a link on my Discord to where you can get it. So in the upper left-hand corner here, I have the ARC name, the version number. So you'll want to check on my Discord in the, I think I have a calendar channel for the latest version. I try not to put out too many versions. Usually it's just coding in the background that gets fixed. Or if Scopely adds an event or changes an event or date, then I might have to do another version. What's cool about this is right now this is set for reset. So these are basically should be the ones that are highlighted in yellow all of the events that are occurring at the next reset. So if I want to see what's going on right now for today, I hit the toggle button here, and you'll see this changes to today. Yeah, that's kind of what I used to do, Tanya. Not so much writing, but I used to use like a notepad, or I have an app on my computer which is like sticky notes. I think the app is called Stickies. It's actually pretty useful, but I just felt that wasn't enough to really plan. So what I've done here is these are all the event names in this column, the event types, and then the event category is basically it kind of tells you what you have to do to score points. For the most part, these are copy and pasted from the event calendar in the game, but I have reworded them a little bit for sorting purposes. So you can see here, like this one, that's not how it's written, word for word. And I'm getting these updated over time so that, again, they can be sorted. And the reason why I wanted to do that was if I wanted to see only the events that were going on today, and maybe the events that are happening tomorrow, if there's any events today that's more than one day long, I wanted to see what overlap was going to occur in a specific scoring. So anything that would score for multiple events. Yeah, I rarely spend on events. In fact, the only thing I spend money on is I buy the tickets. I buy a pack of tickets, and that lasts for several months. And to me, that seems to be a good value as long as you complete the events. So anyway, what I have, and you'll see, is I have a sort by event name button up here, a sort by event type is what this one is, and then sort by date. So right now it's sorted by date, so the earliest date going to the latest date. Now what you'll notice in the event calendar that Scopely puts out, the way they advertise an event, let me find a one-day event here. Okay, so here's a one-day event, the Jellyfish Brawl. They'll put on there July 5th. And what they mean by that is that event starts at reset, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, for me, and whatever the GMT is. But it starts at event reset on the 5th and basically goes 24 hours to event reset on the 6th. So that's why you'll see on mine I have July 5th to the 6th here. And it's this is a calculating column, so I have it kind of grayed out, but you can see it if you look closely enough. And then over here is a graphical display to help you line things up visually a little easier. And they're color coded, and you see the legend up here. Orange is meta, battle pass is green, SMS, AMS, SLB, ALB, XSL, XSLB, IMS, server MS, ticket events, missions, and returning or recurring events. Now, I don't have those reoccurring events popped in here at the moment. Just didn't have time to get them in at the moment. So reoccurring events are like anything that reoccurs on a weekly basis. So your mining Mondays, your second contact events now, etc. So the ones that are in yellow are active today if you have today showing here. And if I toggle this button over here and change to reset, the ones that are active are what's going to be active at the next event reset. So that's what that means, Dark Soji. So anything in yellow is either active today or active at the next reset based upon your toggle setting. So I'm going to toggle back to today, and you see how they change. So this is just a quick way of being able to see any event that is active right now, as long as I have the today on here. So again, it was just my way of being able to see what was going on now, or what was getting ready to start at the next reset, so I could just do some planning. And once I get all of these event categories worded a little better, you'll actually be able to filter them. You can still filter them now, but when I get it a little better, fine-tuned, I guess you could say, you'll be able to see any event that overlaps. So right now you can see if events overlap, if there's the same exact description, if you were to filter on this column. But any event that is not an exact, but there have parts of them that overlap. A good example would be, say, this event, hostile, any hostile with forbidden technology equipped. Okay, so if you had another event that was just defeat any hostile, period, those two events, when they're active, if they were active at the same time, would overlap. So any hostile you killed, assuming the game was working properly, and any hostile, so basically you would activate the forbidden technology, and then any hostile you kill would work for both events. Does that make sense? So again, just a way to make your gameplay more efficient, so that you don't have to kill twice as many ships or do twice as many things. You can kind of look for those overlap in events where doing one thing will count towards multiple events if it lines up that way. But this tool is meant to help you find those things that overlap and line up like that. That was the basis. And then also the planning part. So one of the things I often get asked, and then I was asking myself in previous events, was, is there this event coming up for whatever? If so, I want to save, maybe it's a Armada event, and I want to save my directives for when that event pops. Or maybe it's a recruit event, so I want to save my recruit shards for when that event pops. This allows you to look ahead for that. You could do a Control F and search, or you can do a filter to find those events. And you'll see the way I have these. Oh, there's one that's not working right. Okay, so that didn't work properly. There. So I think there's some recruit events. I see my code is not working properly because these are supposed to open up so you can see the whole line. So there's a recruitment event. So that's good to know, so you don't waste your recruit tokens or your shards when you know an event's coming up. So again, that's the whole idea of this tool. Now in the past, I only did a screenshot of this, and I gave that to everybody, and then the actual spreadsheet, anyone that subscribed to my Patreon, they got that as a perk of being a Patreon member. But today I'm going to give it away for free to everybody, so that you can try it out. And why are the blanks there? So you can see I've got some weird stuff going on my Excel. And I'm not sure why, so I've got to dig into the coding and figure out why it just decided to start messing up. But the basic functionality is there. So the sorting and all of that. Now you'll also notice that this timer doesn't count. Okay, if you want to actually update that, you can just hit start clock, and you'll see the clock timer will start, and it will adjust to whatever your computer time is. Resource-wise, you may not want that running all the time, so you can just hit stop clock. But that's one way that you can update the timer if you've had this spreadsheet open for a little while. And I also definitely welcome comments, questions, ideas for future iterations of this tool. The only other thing I didn't cover, but it's pretty obvious, is this. You'll see for this particular art, the start date and the end date. And again, notice that down here for the Battle Pass, the end date's the 25th, even though they say the end date is the 24th, and that's because it goes through reset on that Monday the 24th, and basically another 24 hours from that reset. So that's why I have it ending here on the 25th. So any thoughts on the tool as you can see it right now, or as I've talked about? I'll leave that right there so you can see all of the events that are active today as of right now for a few minutes. And you'll notice these events popped up yesterday, or the 4th, I should say, and they all ended on reset today, about an hour and 48 minutes ago. Same thing with these and these two. This one started yesterday and ended today. That's your Jellyfish Brawl. And I believe that is for those who do not have a jellyfish. Okay, let's talk about some of the events coming up. So you have some hostile events, some mining events. So like today was on the 7th, that's tomorrow, you have a ticketed event starting. So you have this SMS, 3 SMS events that are ticketed. They start tomorrow. So be aware of that. You have mining, hostile, any, and you get bonus points for defeating the swarm clusters and doomsday worms. And then the alliance help, contribute or spend regular directives. Note that the solo exchange, Borg, and doomsday armadas do not score in that event. Then on the 8th, on Saturday, you have a few recruitment events coming up. 2 of them are spend G3 or higher materials, or spend rare and epic, normal, and solo armada directives. The other 2 are any officer shards will score for that event, and you get extra points for Voyager shards. Yeah, they're not that exciting unless you really looking to get some of the new officers. But they usually have decent payout with materials. Not anything to jump over the moon about, but they're decent. Then we have another ticketed event. On the 8th. So you have two back-to-back ticketed events. One that starts on Friday, and then when it ends, the next one starts on Saturday. Then you have the heavy hitter event that goes from Sunday to Tuesday. And then another ticketed event that starts on Sunday. They stacked them pretty close together, which is interesting. Then you have an away teams event. So you want to make sure you're either saving up your away team your speed ups maybe. I usually like to speed mine up. I don't typically wait. But I'll only do one per day for the dailies, and then I'll typically, unless I need something, I'll typically wait for events to use up my speed ups. We have another trivia starting on Monday, the 10th. And then you have this Delta Adversary Epsilon, which we had something similar to that before. That event, you have to choose diplomacy, or I think it's aggression. And then you have 3 or 4 events following that, depending on which you choose. Then you have the Armada Hunt. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the heavy hitter. I try to time it so that it works out for me. So like in this case, I'll time it so that I'll go ahead and do the Actian hostiles so that I can get the Venom for the refinery. But as I was saying, the Armada Hunt starts on the 11th, so you want to make sure you're saving up your Armada directives. And those are just faction armadas. And then we have the Forbidden Tech Acquisition from the 11th to the 18th, if it's working. And Upgrading, Leveling, and Tiering Up is another event. Again, if it's working, from the 11th to the 13th. So it's interesting that the unlock event runs from the 11th to the 18th, but the upgrading, leveling, and tiering only goes to the 13th. I don't understand why that is. Then you have a couple Forbidden Tech hostile events, SMS and an SLB. They run from the 11th to the 13th, assuming that's working. And then you have an ALB also from the 11th to the 13th. And then you have this TOA Challenger. And that's basically defeating the challenge hostiles or spend the challenge bells. So you want to be aware of that's coming up on the 11th so that you don't spend all of your challenge bells before then, or you're saving them up for that event coming up on Tuesday 11th. Then we have an Interceptor Hunter on the 12th, where any hostile while using an interceptor. Then you have the Parabellum event, where you're hitting heavy traders and regular traders in Sol, Cronus, and Romulus. You're dealing damage. That's on the 13th. And then you have a Tuvok assignment meta coming up on the 13th as well. Battleship Hunter. Similar as before, but this time you got to use a battleship. Then you have a Forbidden Tech Mining event on the 13th. 3 of those, an SMS, SLB, and an ALB. Then you have Explorer Hunter, where you're hunting hostiles with an Explorer ship. And then another 3 ticketed events starting on the 14th, Friday the 14th. Thanks for that update, Tanya. I will check into that as soon as I finish with the calendar here. Then we have Recruit Chakotay event, spending materials. Then a Recruit Season, where any officer shards will count. Extra points for Voyager shards, Voyager officer shards. And then another ticketed event on Saturday the 15th. Then we have Heavy Hitter again, and then another ticketed event on the 16th. Then we have Assignment Hunter. It's another away teams event. Then we have a SMS Voyager Officer Challenge, which requires you to complete each of the Discovery Officers challenges. And these Discovery Officers are, the description starts off like this: the Doctor's Challenge, whereas this one you hit hostile Borg probes. Plus we also have the Delta Adversary Zeta, another Armada hunt, and some more Forbidden Tech, the TOA Challenger again, and now we have the Torres Challenge. That's another Officer's Challenge. This one you have to hit Eclipse or Exchange Armadas. Then we have a Jellyfish SLB on the 19th. Then an Interceptor Hunter. So we're going back to that specific ship hunting hostiles on the 19th. Then we have Janeway's Challenge, where your formation armadas deal damage. At the same time, you also have Tom Paris's Challenge, where you're completing ATA assignments, so save up those speedos for that. Then you also, on the same day, have Harry Kim's Challenge. Not sure why they stacked all 3 challenges on the same day. It's a mining materials scoring event. Then we roll into some more Forbidden Tech. Then we have Chakotay's Challenge, where you're killing hostile worms on the 20th, and Tuvok's Challenge, where you're killing hostiles Jem'Hadar, also on the 20th. Then we move into Jellyfish Brawl on the 21st. Explorer Hunter, where you're hunting hostiles with an Explorer, also on the 21st. And then boom goes the Rialta. So we have a Rialta where you can kill hostiles or do PvP in a specified system. That's on the Friday the 21st as well. And then another ticketed event also on the 21st. Then we have a Recruit Chakotay event on the 22nd, along with the Recruitment Season event, and another ticketed event also on the 22nd, and then another ticketed event on the 23rd, and then finally the Delta Adversary on the 24th. And that rounds out the ARC calendar. Like I said, I don't have the reoccurring events posted in here yet. That I might get that in before I post the tool. If I don't, then that'll be added in the next version. Yeah, I agree, Dark. With these blips, it makes it hard to plan ahead because you don't know when a fix is going to be implemented and change the way you're playing. So it's a pain in the butt. So hopefully you like the tool. and you find it useful, like I said, I'll get that posted up right after the stream ends. Be a short one today, I think, for the stream, so that I can hopefully work on the back end coding and get that working. Shouldn't take long, I hope. And let's move back over to the game. Let's check out. So I assume that was a hot fix that they implemented, Tanya. Is that correct? I'm taking a quick look. Okay, so they put out that they fixed the issue where the game would crash. And they fixed an issue where crews couldn't be adjusted when having forbidden tech equipped. So that makes sense. I didn't know about the second issue, about the crews, but I definitely experienced the crashing issue. And like I said, I've been on the game all day today, or all morning, I should say, and I haven't experienced that. So they must have pushed it out earlier this morning. Yeah, so far so good on my game, Tanya. I don't know. Were you experiencing those crashes as well? Pre-fix? Guess I should send some ships. Yeah, I saw that. Fortunately, I don't use iOS. Oop. Well, maybe they didn't fix it. Wow, crashed on a live stream. That is awesome. Well, it depends on when they release the update, but I will do that. Because it's definitely crashing now. Yep, I see it pushed an update when I relaunched. But it's not starting yet. I wonder if like everybody's restarting their system. Oh, it's trying to download the update, but it is not downloading at the moment. There he goes. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people are trying to hit that update at the same time. And there we go. My dog avatar makes funny faces when I'm taking a drink. Was that you attacking my Cerritos? That's not nice. Okay. Dancing around it. I didn't know you danced. Are you sure that's my Cerritos? I didn't see you there. Okay. Oh, that's why I can't see you. Well, that's no fun if you're cloaked. I can't see you dancing. Okay. Well, let's see. How much? I only got 15. Wonder if they fixed the timer. Well, it is counting down at least. That's annoying. Oh, I just sent my ships with whatever crew I had on at the time. I think I had Armada crews on a bunch of ships, and then maybe a hostile crew on one ship. I'm lucky if I can. Oh, crap. I'm lucky if I can keep track of anything, especially today with everything I've been busy doing with the stream and setup and all that. I don't know how these people do it. I'll get better at it, I guess. I hope. So we got clear the coast event. That's the only thing that bugs me too, by the way. On the calendar, all that Scopely tells you is that it's a battle pass, but they don't tell you what the events for the battle pass are until the day of. So I can't plan or put into the calendar to be able to plan what these battle pass events are going to be. Anyone else find that annoying? I guess you could call it time management. But at the same time, I was not planning on doing live streaming this month because I had so many other things going on. But yesterday, when the event kicked off, it just felt like a really good event or arc to start the live stream on. So I had most everything set up from a basic standpoint, but I didn't have all the fine tuning done and the bells and whistles. So like I don't have any background music on my stream at the moment. I don't have the nice and cool alerts and all of that stuff. I just didn't have time to put all that together before today's second stream, and I definitely didn't have time yesterday because it was just a off the cuff decision to start streaming. So from a time management perspective, I just threw that out the window when I just decided to start streaming. So I wonder if the freebooters will count for Tuvok's event. Any bettors out there? As to whether it will count, I think it will, based on past experience. Well, let's find out. And I will let you know live. Also, too, Tanya, going back to your crew comment, I've been kind of slacking the last couple arcs with the new officers, so I haven't done really any testing, and I haven't rotated the new officers, if they're any good, into my presets. So that's something I need to do. And probably, depending on how this arc goes, I will do some live stream with some crew setup testing. We'll have a little bit of fun with that. But I definitely don't want to do that off the cuff. That's something I definitely want to plan because of all the things that I like to do and record the results and how I record the results. Okay, so that does work for the Battleship Hunter event, obviously. But I don't think it scored for the Tuvok event. And it did not. So freebooters do not count. You got to go kill swarms. So there's your answer, Captain Tanya. Freebooters do not count for Tuvok's event. Also, just something to note for the future. Since I am a puny peon in Twitch parlance, my streams are only recorded for 7 days and then they disappear. But I will be uploading all my streams starting from today onto my YouTube channel. And I'll be providing links for that, so that way they will be there in perpetuity, so that you can refer back to them if there's anything good, which I hope you all find some good tips here and there. So while I'm knocking out some of these freebooters for my dailies, how's your college courses going, Tanya? Are you doing classes over the summer, or are you taking a break? And while we're on the subject of crews, let me give away one of my secrets, which I'm pretty sure I've mentioned to Tanya in the past. Well, I'll have to wait till I get back to my base, I think. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, too slow. So this is my bridge. And this is a... Oh, congratulations, Captain Tanya. Congratulations. Was it just a generic majors 2-year degree, or did you do a 4-year degree? This setup on the bridge works exceptionally well in almost all cases. It's not the absolute best for PvP since the advent of the strike teams, but this is a great general setup for most things. It works on, obviously, as you can see, freebooters. It works on swarms. It works on Actian hostiles. It works just about everywhere. And I do not have her maxed yet. She's only at rank of 4, whatever that is, and then he's also at rank of 4, and I do have Khan maxed. So these two are not even at their max levels yet. And it's a great generic setup that just really works well in a lot of situations. Okay, hang on one second here. Ooh, that was crazy. I am behind. What am I behind? I really need to get a Stream Deck with shortcut keys. Officer tiers. Yeah, but that's partially the luck of the draw. Welcome, Ben. I haven't really paid for any officers, I don't think. If I did, it was a long time ago. Welcome to the stream, Ben. Appreciate you joining. We're just kind of hanging out. I introduced my calendar tool a little while ago. I'm going to be publishing that on my Discord a little bit later today for free for everyone to utilize for this particular arc. I got a couple coding bugs in it that I need to figure out, hopefully before I post it. Otherwise, it'll still work, but there's a couple of the cool button functionalities that for some reason seem to have stopped working. And we were talking about the bug fix that Scopely just pushed out. To fix the crashing issue with the forbidden tech. Yeah, in the past, as I mentioned earlier, Ben, in the past, I had created a screenshot of the tool that people could just utilize. And then if you're a Patreon member, you would get the spreadsheet version where you could sort and search and all of that. But I'm making it free this month for everybody. And however, if you feel so inclined to donate, there's a donate button on my Twitch page, but you don't have to. Like I said, I'm giving that out for free, and I've got several other tools that some of my Alliance members are familiar with, and if you have been on my Discord for a while, you're probably familiar with, but they need some updating. But I have a research database tool that will be getting a facelift and update that allows you to search for research by category. So if you want to find all the researches that are available, for example, that will help your warp range, you can filter that out in the spreadsheet, and you'll be able to see all of your researches that apply to warp range, as well as all the other categories that are available. Hey, Bogator, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that when I go live in the future, you'll get a notification. Appreciate everyone for joining the stream. We're just kind of hanging out. A little bit of a lull at the moment while I'm waiting for my ship to get to where it's going. So for some of you who just joined the chat recently, hopefully if you were on yesterday, you'll notice the audio should sound much better today. I was, I think, able to fix that, and wasn't able to get all the bells and whistles that I wanted to get set up, but that's coming. So we'll have a little bit more fun and interactive things going on in the chat in future iterations of the stream. And as I mentioned earlier, starting from today, all of my streams, well, all the streams are recorded on Twitch, but they only stay there for 7 days since I'm a little peon in Twitch at the moment until I get some more subscribers. But even if I get the max amount required for Twitch, they only last for 30 days. So I will be, from today, pushing my videos, my streams, as well as some other content videos that I have planned to my YouTube channel, and I'll have a link to that in the future. Okay, I am just in love with this dog avatar. I don't know why. And I just noticed he doesn't have his microphone today. What is going on there? Oh well. So how is everybody liking this arc so far? We've talked a little bit about it earlier with some of the glitches. And it seems like they have a fix for the biggest glitch, which was the crashing problem. And as Dark Soji mentioned earlier, and we talked about a little bit, there is a scoring delay, or at least for him and possibly others, maybe not everybody. I think it just depends. It's a lag issue, or appears to be a lag issue. And then we also talked about this issue here in the gift section building resources with this trial bell chest claim. I've experienced some weird anomalies with that. One day the cooldown, or actually this morning the cooldown was 5 hours, and then when I claimed it again, it went to a 22-hour cooldown, but now it's ticking down to, it's at 11 hours now, so it obviously has not stayed, or when it started at the 22-hour mark, it's obviously gone a lot faster than that, I guess you could say. And I posted a couple pictures in my Discord which channel was that? Can't even remember what channel I posted it into. The bug report channel. I'm terrible with my memory. Yeah, I think as far as this arc goes, I kind of like the queue feature. As we were talking earlier with Dark Soji, it's a little annoying having the delay where you can complete the trials up to a certain point, and then you're kind of locked until you get your Q court building upgraded before you can then access the next set of trials, and then you're locked again. And I do understand that frustration because I experienced it myself. But at the same time, I think having a break is nice with all the other things you have to do on a daily basis. But it seems like a very hard break. I don't know. And I don't know if that makes sense. And maybe it's just because I blasted through the first 3 trials and completed all the milestones really quickly. Probably didn't need to do it that fast. But I was also experimenting, trying to learn the arc. Oh, breaks, yeah. It might be one of those things where you want it but can't have it right away, so it frustrates you, kind of thing. However, I will say, this new forbidden tech follows a pattern that I have noticed Scopely has been doing more and more over the last, I guess, a year maybe. The pattern that I'm seeing first started with the advent of, I guess it goes all the way back to the SNW crew, where instead of having crew setups that were generic and worked for a lot of stuff, for example, where you had Pike, Moreau, and Chen that worked for any hostile up to 52. With the advent of the SNW crew, you started to see crews that were specific for a certain, you had to be on a certain ship and you had to attack a certain ship, and otherwise you had to switch out the crew. So it makes you have to get more officers. It also does make you kind of strategize a little better, but it's annoying when you're really far from your base and you have to come all the way back, change your crew, and then go all the way back out again. And yeah, you could move your base, but that's not always optimal or available if you have, let's say, miners out or other ships out. So that seemed like a little bit of a pain to me. I don't know if everyone else has seen that trend where crews, definitely ships, but crews have become very specialized, and it followed suit after the SNW crew with the strike team. Although I can kind of understand that, where those are PvP crews and they were designed to be on either Battleship Explorer or the other ship. But it feels like now that kind of philosophy of very specialized stuff, I guess you could say, has now made its way into the research type of genre or buffs, where now you have buffs that started with, in my opinion, the fleet commander, where you had different fleet commanders that had different buffs, and up until level 40 of your fleet commander building, you can only have one, and once you get to 40, then you can have two. But even then, you may have to switch out your fleet commander for different things, different missions, different whether you're going after hostiles or you're going after PvP. And now with these research buffs with the forbidden tech, these also are things that you apply and then remove, and of course it costs to apply and remove them. So you're having to switch around the makeup of your crew, and then of course also even your below deck crew. Some are good for mining, some are good for PvP, some are good for hostiles. So you're having to manage based upon who or what you're going out to do. You have to manage your bridge crew, your below deck crew, your ship, and now this forbidden tech, which you either apply or disapply or de-apply, remove. So it's getting more and more complicated, I guess you could say, and more finite in how you build your setups. So in that regard, I mean, there's a positive to it for sure, but then there's also a negative to it, in my opinion. Not sure if there's a good balance there or not. What are your thoughts on that trend that I mentioned of having to manage so much as far as when you leave your base to go do something, you have to really think about the ship you're on, the bridge crew, the below deck crew, and any buffs that are temporary, we'll call it. Anybody have thoughts on that? Yeah, that's pretty much my take on it, Tanya. I tend to like I've on my fleet commander, I think I have Kirk, and I've never changed him ever. In fact, I know I've never changed him ever. Whenever I take a drink, it looks like my dog is howling. I need a howling sound bite. Oh, I'm cutting my nose off when I turn that way. Ooh. I have to adjust that. That's a little better. So while we're here for a few more minutes, because don't want to be too boring here. Like I said, I don't have all the bells and whistles set up like I want, and don't think I'm going to be able to do a whole lot specifically with the Ark until I can get some more resources to upgrade my building. Don't really want to pay for it, so I'm going to hold off on that. Any questions, comments, concerns, things I may or may not be able to answer? Usually there is a scout in this system. Let's see if I can get him to spawn. So what do you say, Ben? What is your tip for the day? Heineken's all around? Oh, that's right. Can we call that a vacation diet? Or a impending or upcoming vacation diet? Hey, thanks for the follow, Bogator. Appreciate it. Even though I don't have a sound alert assigned yet. like I was saying, what's not true, Captain Tanya? That he's on a diet? Oh, I wish I could have heard that. I don't. Let me see here. Yeah, I still have a sound issue that I have to figure out, and I've been using a workaround where I basically mute my browser. Otherwise, I hear myself talking, and it creates a very distracting loop. And at least yesterday, I think you guys could hear that echo as well, and I'm not sure how, so I'll have to do some playing around. But because I have my browser muted, if there are sounds played on the stream, I can't hear them because of that, because I don't want to hear myself, and I don't want you guys hearing an echo. Yeah, I kind of understand how generally I'm hearing myself, because basically I have the stream open and the sound goes into my mic through my stream software out to Twitch, and then if I don't have the browser muted, I hear the stream, and thus I would hear myself. But I don't know why you guys were hearing it yesterday. That doesn't make sense to me. So it's just one of those learning curves I need to figure out. Like I said, we'll get better. We'll have a lot more fun. We'll have some music, have some cool sound bites that everyone can partake of. Oh, I have no doubt you're going to regain all of those kilograms while you're on vacation. I don't know, Captain Tanya. See, all of my audio is, as far as what I hear, is all being pumped into my headset. So I have a Steel Series. I think it's a Arc Nova 2 Pro headset. It's pretty awesome, but it comes with some pretty heavy-duty software. I couldn't say. I just basically have to go through the whole thing, soup to nuts, and try and figure it out. But we'll get it figured out and get some more bells and whistles on the stream. Said I really want to get some intro music and some outro music or exit music and get some cool sound bites and maybe get some crazy stuff. Get some contests going. Just have a little more interactive fun. So I gotta learn how to do all that and then implement it. But I use a studio software that pushes out the stream and mixes everything, and it's pretty awesome. And that's what I use to adjust my voice and audio that it records. But I don't know how I would make it so that I don't hear my own voice in the stream. Because that's more of a browser thing, because the audio is coming out of the browser if I'm watching my own stream. So I got to figure out maybe a way to watch the stream. Is there a place to show you how to crew your ships for what you want to do? Yes. I do have some quick reference cards on my Discord that show a bunch of basic setups for a lot of different things. I have some new ones to add. But if you go to my Discord, and I will give you a link of where exactly to find them. There you go, Bogator. That invite should take you right to the crew setup channel. There's a lot of discussion in there, and then I also posted a shortcut from there into a community forum for armadas, where I have recommended setups for Cardassian, solo armadas, expansion cubes, Eclipse armadas, the faction armadas, etc. But I do have a lot more to create, so I'll be adding to those quick reference cards. Oh, almost forgot. One thing that is important to note for the Q trials and the trial hostiles. Important tip. When you start a Q trial and it spawns a trial hostile, those hostiles are spawned within 2 systems of your base. So, if your base is next to or within 2 systems of a token accessed space, your hostile may spawn in that token access space. The same thing will occur as if your base is near the limits of your warp range. That hostile could spawn outside of your accessible warp range. So make sure your base is not near those things. Any kind of token access system, any kind of locked system where you have to complete a mission to unlock it and you haven't unlocked it yet. You might not want to be in the territories, because your hostile could spawn in someone's territory, or it's going to spawn in someone's territory if you're not near the edge of the territory, and territory space, and your hostile will spawn in someone else's territory most likely, and when you go in there, they're not going to see your hostile, so they may attack you. So something to be aware of: your trial hostiles spawn within 2 systems away from your base. I had someone ask me a question about that earlier today, and I posted it in my Discord, but I wanted to mention that here on the stream. Very important note. And at the moment, these also are ridiculously high. Your what do they call them? Proto matters, to level up your forbidden tech and refine. The amount you get in the trials as a base reward, which is this up here, is only 80. Now you do get some in your milestones, but once you've completed all the milestones, then you're not going to get those anymore. So if you do a trial that's you've already completed all the milestones, all you're going to get is 80, and obviously it's going to cost you as a 25 bells to do a trial, and you can do the quick math. 25 times 80. How many times do you need to do that in order to get, say, 2,150? Let's do the math real quick. So 2,150 divided by 80. So you would have to, just with the base rewards for a trial, you'd have to do 27 trials to get the first chest pull for the forbidden tech here, to get your emblem of assessment to upgrade your building, your Q building. And if it takes you 27 trials, that means you need 25 bells per trial. That means you need 675 bells in order to just get enough proto matter. That's assuming you win the trial too, to just do a one chest pull. 675 bells. And how many bells do we get on a daily basis? just in the free section, we only get 80. So you can do the math on that one. Not great. And you only have a max capacity of 75, which is really odd that you get 80 per chest, but only a max capacity of 75. Seems really stupid. Oh, one thing I did also find out. Yeah, I'm stuck too, Tanya. This number here, let me go back to this. This max capacity is not correct. So let me come in here, back to your building. I think it's listed in here. Let's see. So you can see right now I'm at level 4, and the proto matter rewards are 7% higher than the base. So if I'm not mistaken, oops, let's try this out. 75 was the base max amount plus 7%, which is 80.25. Okay, so that's mathematically correct. So let's go back to our claim. So you can see I'm getting 80 trial bells, and it rounds, well, it's 80.25, so it rounded down to 80. Now, what I think also happens is that your max capacity matches the daily. Let's go to items. One second here. Not sure where these are at, so give me a second. I don't even see the bells listed. All right, let's do this way. So I have 15. So if let me go ahead and do one more try. Oh, I can't because I don't have enough bells. Crap. All right, I think the max capacity matches your daily. So I think the building upgrades not only the rewards you get daily, but also your max capacity, but I'll have to verify that. Yeah, I agree, Tanya. I mean, it does, wants to make you, well, if you, that max limit definitely makes you use them up daily. Otherwise, it's not worth even pulling the chest. But something else to note as well is brain fart. In your daily rewards, which I've used up, or already claimed my 2 daily rewards. There's 2 daily rewards for the new forbidden technology Q trials. And I posted a picture of that in my Discord. So since I don't have that, so the last daily reward I pulled and took a picture of, I got 2,000 Forbidden Tech refinery credits, 32 reactors, and 75 emblem of assessments in one daily pull, and then in the other one I got 1,000 refinery credits and 32 Forbidden Tech reactors. So you do get a little bit in your daily pulls, so it's definitely worth doing those. And that's true. You can't do those dailies if you've collected everything that's available. So you definitely have to, whoops, wrong spot. And I'm going to, like I've done in the past, I'm going to create a quick reference card for the loop. I guess we can call this the Q trial loop, maybe. Where you go in here, you'll have to claim this chest, then go do your trials, whether they're a new one available or not. If not, then you'll have to do this and do a few of these in order to get enough to claim your dailies at least. It may not be worth it doing both dailies. It may only be worth it to do the one where I think you only have to do one Q trial to get that daily. I can't remember how much you got to do for the other one. Let me see if I can see it in my picture that I posted. Okay, so use trial bells 3 times to start Q trials. Use trial bells 5 times. So it may only be worth it to do the 3 times, but with that daily you don't get the emblem of assessments, which you use to upgrade your building. So it really slows you down on your building. Which I'm sure that was done by design to encourage people to buy packs to speed up the process. And let's take a look at those packs. I looked at them yesterday. So these are the buffs that you can buy instead of waiting to get them. I tell you, I'm going to make some memes with Scopely and the Ferengi, because that's begging for a meme. So this pack here, you get 250 trial bells, the Forbidden Tech Proto Matter, the Tier Up Catalyst, Reactor, Fusion Rods. Obviously, the most important thing in the beginning is going to be the trial bells and the Proto Matter. So that you can use the Proto Matter in the refinery to buy your emblems to upgrade your building. But you can buy this pack and get 5,420 emblems. And obviously these packs are going to be based upon your spending level and your ops level. But that's okay. It's not great. looking at the all the materials that you get, or that I get. Let's see what the Elite upgrade pack gives you. Well, that's weird. That gives you 2150 as well. And this one gave you 5420. Ooh, that's much better. Limit of 1. Whereas this is no limits. Now, how much is this? 1835. And there's a limit of 2, so that's probably a better value. Let's take a look. $18.35 times 2 is $36.70. $36.70. How much was in this pack? Yeah. So you can rest assured that anything that has a limit on it is a better value typically. So if you're going to buy them, this one has the best value for the emblems. Then the premium upgrade pack, and then the elite upgrade pack is the lowest value of those emblems. See you later, Ben. Thanks for joining. We're getting ready to close out here shortly. So you can see here these trial bells, 500 for $20. So let's do another quick calculation. 500. There's no limit of 2, but times. So $20 be 5, be 2,500. Okay, so that's the same. So from a standpoint of the bells, it's the same. All right. Don't think I want to spend that money right now. All right, gang. I think that's about it for today. Like I said, I'm going to work on the calendar tool, and I should have that posted to my Discord by the end of the day. And I hope everyone enjoys the tool. Hope it works for you. Yeah, I do have that problem sometimes, Tanya. But any last second questions before we close out the stream? All right. I don't see anything, so thank you all for joining. I appreciate you spending your time with me, and we will do it again. Thanks for the subscriptions, and I'm out of here. Till next time.